Oh, I hope I'm not going to laugh again. I fell out laughing the other day. It was so funny. We were talking about, oh Lord, I was going to go by. Welcome, everybody. We were talking about Rankin County roads or whatever, and talking about there's a great place. This is Mayor Richard White from Byram, and we'll talk about his special thing he's got in a minute. But so we were talking about the way that I can tell how to get onto Casey's Lane if I'm coming back up Casey's Lane to Flowood Drive. If I'm on Old Brandon Road, there's this store at the corner at Casey's Lane. It used to be called Foy's. Well, it's so.
I know where exactly you're talking about.
I do now because I went in and did some exploring. I'm like, I know that place.
Yeah,
I know
well, it. But the sign isn't there anymore.
No.
It almost tripped me up. I think I was coming back from the state fair in the fall, But this last time when I was down
across the old bridge,
but you got to know exactly where because it's changing so much out there. But I was thinking, I think if it comes for sale, maybe I'll buy it.
And just put no. The orchestra is going to play at Dr. Muse's building out there in Rankin.
Yeah.
And they're going to be.
I'm
going to have my T-Bird. We're going to have another car for people to take pictures in.
T-Bird, what year?
I got a 57.
Whoa. Where's Bert when we need him? He would
but it's got
drool.
a fiberglass top, and I'm not strong enough to take the top off anymore, so I have to have help.
Well, anyway, sadly this morning, though, it is sad news this morning that there is another death in the state of Mississippi to report from the weekend, and that is a 90-year-old man in Walthall County. That's about 5 in Walthall, and a total of we had 6, now 7. Yeah, that's so sad. Well, on the other hand, watching the news yesterday, and I thought Ginger Z, by the way, would never get off of that same piece of property that she did stories Saturday, Sunday, Mondays. Like, there's other destruction besides that. But anyway, but yesterday at 6 o'clock on the WLBT 5 or 6 o'clock news, Dave Roberts, and they all did a great job. I mean, they all did a superb job on Saturday. I mean, they were really quick.
I sit there and watch them. We didn't have nothing else to do, right?
Yeah. Well, just sat around. I was scared. I was, I had gone to the store Friday, bought cookies and water. 2 things, the last 2 things I needed. Healthy things to get through it, just sitting there waiting for it. But anyway, so Dave went down to Tylertown yesterday, and he said something like, you saw it, right? It's something like, I know what it's like. I see these storms from a radar point of view and all that kind of stuff, but I think it should be seen in person. And he went down there and saw what was going on down there, and he did some wonderful walking through it was a 2-story house, you said, right?
Yeah, he was standing where a 2-story house was is what I saw him say. So
yeah, it's just, but that was a really smart thing for him to do. Very, very smart. I mean, I would think that they would, kind of do that before they even got on TV or whatever. But I don't know. It would be
better for those guys that's going to school for that. They'd be required to go at least one disaster.
Yeah,
right. And work.
Wouldn't hurt. Yeah, wouldn't hurt at all. But he did very well on that, and he's got a good team going.
Yes, I like.
He really does.
There's 2 girls.
There's one who's new. Anae. She's new. That was her second time. There was a storm a few weeks ago, and they were full blown, as it's called.
She's very good. Show that time, didn't she? Maybe.
I don't know.
But they help each other.
Well, they do.
I think he's going to be there. If it's bad, he's going to be there. That's why I don't like to see him on it. I'm joking.
No. I can't think of her name now. It just went right out of my head. Who was at WAPT years ago. Black female. She's now at WABC New York. I mean, she's big stuff, but she'll always be, the regular person. Well, Bert and I were watching her one day, and she was all by herself having to handle it. It was baptism by fire. She did a great job down here. Whatever storm it was, she did a great job. But I don't know who this Ushman. I don't know. I'd like to know if she's German. She's on WLBT. Elise Ushman. She's very good. Anae. I don't know. Anae's last name is. She's very good. Of course, Dave does a great job. And who else is in there? Oh, Todd Adams, who usually does weekends a lot, I guess. And it seems like there's somebody else too. I don't know who it is. I don't know who's on in the morning.
Their investigator is.
Well, that's
Anthony.
Anthony. Warren. He does. But he's not on the air.
Well, he does a little bit.
He does? I haven't seen him on the air.
He did it first.
Here, come a little closer to your mic.
I had a couple. Are we talking right now?
Yes, we're on the air.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you.
Hey, they snuck it up on me then. I was just sitting here being... Okay.
All right, Mr. Mayor.
Dying straight.
This is how he mayors. He's very accessible.
This is... Yes,
Yes,
glad
sir.
to be here.
So anyway, about Anthony Warren, you've seen
Yes.
him? He used to work for the
I
Northside
talked to
Sun, is
him.
all I know.
Yeah, I talked
He's
to
very
him.
good. He's a good reporter.
He is a
He
good
does the long version of things.
investigation law. guy.
Yes, but C.J. LeMaster is the reporter who does that stuff too. You know, they probably work together on some of the stuff. But they did a great job on the weather Saturday. I just stuck with them. And by the way, people say, "Well, I didn't get to see the Open. I didn't get to see basketball." Well, stations are. I don't think it's a law someplace, but it's just an unwritten rule that when there are tornadoes in your area, or threatening, if it's they don't do it for tornado watches so much as tornado warnings, but they are to stay on the air while that situation exists because it is there to help people and to protect people.
Save people's lives.
Exactly.
That's it. That's
Yep,
it. And that's what
exactly.
it's there for.
Yep,
and
exactly.
I'm glad they stepped. Yeah,
they
I
all
watched a lot of
do that, and that's the way it should be. I think, yes, it's annoying, and you can see that stuff. You can look online, you can see some of that stuff. Otherwise, anyway, so that's the news. So Byram Mayor Richard White, as I said in my promo on Twitter X, has got something coming his way to make him. I should have called you the happy mayor. Oh, by the way,
I'm pretty happy.
Pretty happy about this. I should just say about mayors. The I-55 corridor north of you, though, it's kind of interesting because so you have a couple opponents, and
Yes,
Jackson's got about 20 of them, I think, something like that.
At least 7.
At least that, yeah, because 2 of them had to get out. Keisha Sanders had to get out, and Ali Shamsuddin had to get out. But got all those. So Ridgeland has no opposition. Gene McGee, who'll be on this program, by the way, talking about some economic development stuff.
He's a good one. I want to grow up just like him.
Yeah, he's got economic development stuff, kind of a whole bunch of stuff that they have.
I don't know. I try to follow his lead, but I just can't. I'm just.
Well, when are you going to develop another Bridgewater? That's what you need. Bridgewater, the hoity-toity place. Super hoity-toity, beautiful. It's out. You got Richardson Road to someplace.
Really?
Yeah, you've not
No.
Bridgewater. Ooh, doctors and lawyers live there. And mayors, no, he doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't live there.
You got to live in your city.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
you're supposed to anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he lives there either. But it's quite elite. It's lovely. Yes,
Is
yes.
there a lake out there and everything?
And it's got some ponds. It's not like the big one. What's that one? What's that one? Lance, the big one in off of 43.
Carolina?
No, not like Carolina, the river, the other place. Oh, you didn't have your headset on.
Now, am I on?
Yes, sir.
This is no, you know what I mean. The subdivision, the one out 43.
No, 43.
I don't think I'm on.
You don't hear anything? Turn your
spin that baby.
The black.
There we go.
I'm here. I made it. Goodness gracious, y'all.
Reunion. That's it.
Reunion.
Yeah, that's in Madison. Well, I don't think that's part of Madison.
It's part of It probably wants to be in Madison and
Close
Madison.
enough. They have lakes, but Bridgewater doesn't have lakes. It's got some ponds, but it's just it's really very lovely. But anyway, so he's going to be on talking about not mayor stuff because he's already elected. And by the way, the mayor in Clinton.
I know Will. He's an attorney. I'm meeting with him today. We're trying to get this.
Tell him how to be
inmate.
mayor. No.
We're trying. He's a lawyer. I don't have my certificate yet. Okay. But we're talking about those inmates. They went up on the price Hinds County did, which they didn't tell us about it, but they did, and so we were going to be meeting.
How much more a day is it? Like
it's double. It's from $25 to $50.
Ooh, that's a lot.
And by the way,
That's
some of those people don't live in Byram, Mississippi. They live somewhere else.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's just, it ain't something. We got to work it out. We'll get it worked out.
Well, so he doesn't have opposition. And interestingly enough, so this is up the I-55 corridor. So Madison Mary Hawkins Butler doesn't have any opposition, and neither does the mayor of Deutschville, Gluckstadt. Walter Morrison.
Yes.
He doesn't have any opposition either, And so we've had I've had 2 people from Jackson. I've had people from both. Well, Friday we've got Flowood's other person because Gary Rhodes isn't running. We had Greg Wilcox on last Friday, and this Friday we're having Kathy Smith on. Those 2 have got it for they'll be on. And I've had I've had Fred Shanks and Butch Lee on for Brandon. Had a bundle of them. So
that's that gives them a chance to.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes, and so that's what's going on there. But your big thing is when we started talking with you a lot. When I discovered whenever it was last year that you like to talk about your city, which is wonderful.
That's the only thing I have to talk about right now. But it's good.
Yeah, that is very good. Yes, Byram. If people don't, well, he's the mayor of Byram, and you're running again. Is this your 3rd term coming up?
Yes, I was a ward person for when we got incorporated after the Supreme Court okayed us. And so I was a ward person for the first 4 years, and then I was the first elected official since we were established a city.
How long ago was that?
This is my third. This is my third term, and I'm going to fourth because I got that extra grant in and some things I want to finish up. So.
Well, I knew you when you were in the legislature.
Yes.
You know, that's where I knew your name from. Oh, you were in the legislature. Yeah. This is much better than the legislature, right?
I think
it's a 24/7.
I think you should be a mayor before you can be in the legislature because
really?
the cities do a lot. We're little motors out there running, making money and tax money and helping everything out. And I think the cities do a good job, and I didn't realize what all a mayor had to go through. But I like
24/7. I mean,
oh my, they don't even know what's. It's 24/24. One of them deals. But
well, this morning it was a sad situation. There's a dog on a street that
yes,
so the mayor gets
I get a call.
Exactly.
That's okay.
Well,
and Sarah's probably listening to it.
Oh,
maybe.
That's okay. I hope she is. And I have some of her doors too, and they're beautiful. They don't know what we're talking about. If she's listening, she will. But so then you start coming up, and your big thing was, this is a little over a couple years ago, was water, and how you wanted to break away from Jackson.
Yes.
And I remember asking you, would you have to turn specifically, do you have to turn the computers or anything? And no, you don't have to exactly do that.
No.
And you wanted to do wells.
Yes,
and
three and a tank.
And you got a bundle. You're getting a bundle of money from somewhere.
$7 million grant from federal government, and I'm not the only one. There's probably 6 or 7 on that list that got.
Somebody is a good grant writer. I mean, do you have a grant writer in your city?
I had help.
Yeah, you have to, or do you do them? I mean,
no. We got a fire chief that does some. My police chief did one for our dog. We got a search dog and rescue dog.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Good. What kind?
It's a dog, and I'm not sure about it. He looks like sort of like a wolf. I hope he's smarter than I don't know.
It's probably a Belgian Malinois.
That's it. Something like that.
Belgian Malinois. They look a lot like German Shepherds, but they are, I think,
they're darker and everything, and they're not. They're brown in them. Ours got brown.
Yes, generally a medium brown and with black on the face. Yeah, they're
mean looking.
Yeah, you don't mess around with it. I mean, they're wonderful dogs for what they do. A German Shepherd will do it well, but a German Shepherd can also just be a cuddle bunny, right? Apparently, I don't know. I always think of German Shepherds as not. The first time I ever saw one that was slanted, had a slanted back, I thought there was something wrong.
Well, you thought his back was broke.
I didn't realize it was a show dog.
That's why I think they run that way, too.
Yes, they're show dogs. By the way, folks, if you like to watch dog things online, like I do, I have just about everything I have on Instagram. Stuff that pops up is about horses, ice skating, and dogs. Well, there's this deputy named Eamon O'Reilly, and he's in Washington County, Oregon, and he's on every day, and his dog's name is Radar O'Reilly, right? And so he's every day. So the deputy comes on, and he's sitting there. He'll hold up what people send them treats, and he'll hold up this bag of treats from someplace like this. He has music though. Rarely do you hear him talk, but it's a bag of treats. Then he opens the door, the hatch there that holds the dog, and Radar comes zooming out, puts his head right on his shoulder like this, and they share their treats. It's hysterical. A friend of mine once said, he's eating that after the dog. Well, yeah, you do. You eat after your dog.
That's not the worst thing you get.
No.
Yeah, that's not the worst bacteria you can get over.
No, not at all. But they share their treats, and it's so silly. But it's all the time. But it's a great thing, folks. It's Radar.O'Reilly. But
that'd be a good one to watch. I'd never run into that one yet, but I will. Me and my brother raised a small collie when we was in South Jackson, and we had one of them special days where we didn't take many pictures, but when we took one, you wanted to look nice and all, but our collie sat between us, and we thought that was amazing. It had enough sense to get between us.
Was it a collie or a Sheltie?
It was sort of like a collie dog, like not a Rin Tin Tin, but a small version of it.
So it could have been a Sheltie or Shetland sheepdog, they're called, but we just call them Shelties.
She was smart as a whip, and she didn't back out from nothing.
There's some really smart. I've just been inundated with this stuff. I couldn't sleep in the night, so I would see what's on. And so there's somebody who's got many people have black labs.
Oh yeah.
And I mean the head motion, the head tilts are unbelievable.
Like they're asking a question. What the heck do you just do that for?
Right. They're great head tilters. But anyway, so tell us about this. How much? $4 or $7 million?
It's $7 million, and there's opportunity in two. Well, I'm going to do wastewater and water. And our wastewater, we're putting what we call the Big Creek interceptor, which will take all the sewage from our parkway, which is going to be finished, I hope, soon, that comes from Highway 18 all the way south through my city and out to the Trahan, which is certainly a wastewater repair place. But
anyway. that's not going to go to the Jackson one at
Jackson's not Savannah Street.
Not Savannah Street. Okay, is this the new one?
It's
the Rankin one
that
I'm paying up.
No, this is not Rankin. But this is the one that Rankin left me a big old place to put all my stuff.
Well,
so
good.
It wasn't a bad deal.
Oh, you actually bought it?
No,
you rented it from them?
I pay them. That's another story for another day.
We are paying, those of us who live in Rankin County, we're paying for the new one that they built.
I know, it's pretty expensive, I heard.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
I mean, but your water bill doubles, shoot. I was having decent water from PRV, but then they decided to join this thing, too. Gee, thanks a lot,
Well, probably didn't have a choice.
Pardon?
Probably may not have had a choice. Think about it.
I think they did.
I don't
know. But anyway, you don't have anything to do with PRV?
No.
Well, actually,
we do have some private water people around Hinds County, but by the way, a lot of the people are south of our city. Their lines go through us. So I hadn't really got that worked out, how we're going to work that yet, but we'll get it worked out.
You do to an extent depend on the PRV because it's the level of the river by you, and that's a factor that they have to deal with all the time. But then having to go before it gets to you, having to go through the Jackson wastewater, that's another thing.
That's another thing.
Great service.
It's $8 million to go under the 55 with this 40-something inch pipe, 48-inch pipe. So it's a big deal.
What you're getting?
That's what we're putting in.
48-inch pipe?
And it's $8 million just for that.
Wow.
But we got.
What's it made out of?
It's
Gold?
a concrete deal that will not.
Rare earth material.
They're real serious. It's going to be about 30 and 40 feet in the ground, too. So.
We are going to take a break and come back more about that. Yeah.
And I'll be prepared this time.
Okay. Well, we'll just be after a break. You got a few minutes to get your stuff together. We'll be right back.
I feel a lot better.
Okay. All these guys they all know music, and I'm not necessarily the best at it.
I like country music.
I do, but I don't.
Good old outlaw country, the best.
Ooh,
Waylon, Willie.
Here's the thing, and Willie's the last man standing on that deal. Here's the thing. Did you know?
What is he, 100 years old?
Okay, well, he's coming to the amphitheater. This is the thing they have in Brandon. Is it you're an amp or amph? But anyway, Willie's coming, and his sister Bobby died. Did you know that? Bobby played the piano. You only saw the back of her head. Well, so Lance looked her up, find her name for me. He said she looked exactly like Willie, a female version.
Hey,
same complexion and everything.
That'd be hard on a girl.
Rough. Now there's a little road hard.
They had the same hair and everything.
He was sort of dripping. I mean, of course, I better not say much.
I just heard it this morning, and I was kind of humming along with it as I was getting ready to come to work because Willie Nelson is doing the singing in a Starbucks ad. Did y'all know that? Starbucks ad. You see in the background. It's
just a new demographic for Starbucks.
Ooh,
hey, and he needed a little spending money.
This is stay all night, stay a little longer, dance all night, dance a little longer. Throw off your coat, put it in the corner. Don't see why you don't stay a little longer. And I'm doing long. Now let him play that. I'll know that song. But anyway, it's like I've got Byram's Richard White is the mayor.
Yes.
We're talking about his $7 million that he's getting. Now you're talking about this gigantic pipe. Where's it going to go to, and how's it going to work? You want to put wells?
We call it we already are hooked to the Trahan in our north part of our city.
What is that?
The Trahan is a place where they fix the wastewater, clean up, recycle, and so then. We already hooked to it in our northern part.
Is that just for you? That's just for Byram?
No, Jackson uses it and I use it. I'm not sure who else is on there right now.
Yeah, but it cleans it.
Yes, and so we're glad to have it that close because if we'd had to build something like that, it'd be outrageous.
But your pipe is going to go there, or
yes.
Okay? And how's that going to?
Okay, we started out like almost all small cities. We start out with these ponds that have wastewater in them, and we sort of let the evaporation take its deal, and now they've outlawed them. These ponds where you can have stuff floating around and drying out, so. We're going to a interceptor pipe called the Big Creek, which runs down Big Creek, and it's not going to have any pumps or anything. It's just going to run off going straight down.
What you were doing was almost like a dry dam, sort of. The water would store there and then it would evaporate.
Well, we'd store it in a pond, and then evaporation would
evaporate.
take over, and that's the way it used to be done. Everybody had them.
Well, I know you want to do wells.
Oh, yeah.
And so you want how many wells
There'll
to do
be 3 wells.
And how many have you got now? You have one?
We don't have none.
Oh,
we got an idea where we want them.
Oh, okay. But you got the tower that the water will
No,
go.
it's not going to be a tower. It's going to be sitting on the ground. So things have changed.
Well, but aren't you going to store some water in a tower?
Yes, you store it so you'll have water pressure if something goes wrong, and you give you time to do field repair.
Where do you want to put
I've learned more about water than asphalt than I really want to know.
asphalt too?
We just got through doing 21 streets, and that's neat.
Well, what's important about asphalt, if you ask me, is how thick is it? Because they did some in my neighborhood a couple of years ago. It looked real nice for a while, but now it's break it up. And it's about, not even a half an inch thick. Come on. For what we pay?
It's usually when you overlay a street, it's 2 or 3 inches. So.
It should be. But anyway.
But sometimes
where are you going
that's why you have people out there watching.
And by the way, from being in the helicopter, I can tell you when you fly over like a shopping center or something, it looks so nice. Places look so nice when you have fresh asphalt and nice markings.
You can see it.
It just shows you that it's like progress and success and all that kind of stuff. Because so many places have got ratty parking lots, and it's like if you have a ratty parking lot, that doesn't get it. And so you need to do that. I think. North Park used to have this most god-awful ratty parking lot. Terrible.
It was back there near the theater, wasn't it? Is that where it was at?
No, by Belk's.
Oh, yeah.
On the upper level. It was like really raggedy, but I think they've redone all that now in the last few years. But
I think they're doing
it wasn't
better.
very long ago. And the theater's still open, apparently. Do you think?
I think
I don't know.
We got to ask
I've
the young
never seen. I cut through there every now and again. It looks nice, but I don't know if I've seen any cars there.
I'm not so sure they didn't close.
Yeah, it looks like a beautiful facility. The old one, you're talking about the one that was across from the food court, standalone.
Right.
Yeah, up the hill.
It used to be North Park Theater.
Yeah.
Now it's got some other funny name.
It's something else.
Designer name.
It looks really nice. Again, I don't know if I've seen any cars around it any time in the last year.
But the parking lot looks better than it used to.
Somebody out there needs to give us an update on that.
Really? I don't know I do cut through there occasionally.
I swing into the mall here and there. They have some decent deals.
Yeah, if they got deals.
Billiards and such.
Yeah.
They got. I think they're doing pretty good out there.
Well, so where do you want to put the wells for your water system?
Having 3, they'll be. We got an idea. We've talked to a guy that's going to help us do that, and he's already done some research, and he doesn't see any problems. That's what we had to. We had to look a little bit and plan this thing. Because we didn't want to jump off and not have no water in the swimming pool.
Where are the locations around the city?
Yeah, there's 3
limits?
locations, and the tank that we're talking about will be on the north side.
How big will the tank be? Is it big as that one on Highway 18?
It's almost it's over 5. It's 500,000 gallons.
Well, there's that one on Channel 16, a great big old thing. Not that big.
No, the one it'd be similar to is the one at Spring Ridge Road and Davis Road.
There's
the one right there.
How's the public feel about this? Obviously, they want the water, and they'd rather pay your prices instead.
I think that we did a annexation just 2 years ago out the Parkway, and we took in the Parkway, and we got 156 houses. So the main thing I tell them is be sure to check your insurance, your house insurance, because we have a rating of 5, and we'll soon have a rating of 4. We just ordered a new fire truck that costs gazillion dollars, and I didn't know how great fire trucks. I thought fire trucks were great, and I didn't know they cost gazillions of dollars. But we just ordered one. It's going to take approximately 20 months to build, and we're real. And it's an older company that makes it, and it's we've ordered it. So
one time in the helicopter there was a fire truck that tipped over in the wind out by Lake Cavalier, and it was really weird. We covered it from the helicopter, but what was cool about that was you'd have to hover when you're you can't just fly by. You got to hover, right? Well, the wind was so strong. Well, no. Here's the thing: the pilot turned the helicopter around, so he's going right into the wind, and we were hovering. But we were going 20 miles an hour. Whoa, how cool is that? But, we didn't move at all. Did not move at all. And another time the helicopter did something like that was for some reason there was a cruise ship that had to come into Mobile. It couldn't make it to where it was supposed to go, Houston or someplace like that. They had to go into Mobile. And so CNN rented the helicopter and the pilot. And then they had their own reporter do this. Anyway, so they went to the ship. And so the helicopter was, and the reporter was talking I guess the reporter got on the ship, was talking, and I thought, it looked like the helicopter was parked on the stern, right? It wasn't. It was going along exactly the same speed as the boat. It was like, whoa, some good pilots. That guy was, he was from Germany, that guy, that pilot was from Germany, and the other one above the fire truck was from here, he was our chief pilot. He's the one who teaches you to take it for the team if you get sick to your stomach. And he's also the one who said, don't wear flip-flops, because if we go down, every person for themselves, you have to have shoes on that you can run in.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would think. I
wouldn't. You can click around in flip-flops. No, you have to think about stuff like that. But anyway, when is all this going to happen? When do you get I
think it's going to happen after the election of the new mayor. I don't believe that the mayor of Jackson is going to, like it is right now, is going to promote it. He's had several years to do it. We made him a decent offer for the pipes, and we've been working steady, just trying to get ready for. And I think that the ones I've talked to that are running are very friendly to. They don't want no more than they have to, and they want us to have our own water. So I think that's going to be
that'll hit them. But I'm sure it hit them when Rankin County pulled out of the wastewater treatment plant.
Well, they were trying to go up on the rates, and they were charging for every little, that's part. I mean, things have changed a lot in the last 4 or 5 years for sure.
Well, and look at the places in Jackson that've got their own water wells, hospitals.
Oh, yeah.
Hospitals.
They can't wait.
Yeah,
they can't wait. And that's exactly why that's where we're at. And I think if we, you can condemn their pipes and use them until you get your other ones in or whatever, but. There's a lot of ways to do this. We've already, getting to be a city, we had to fight them for 12 and a half years.
Oh, my gosh.
They annexed us, and we fought them and won. Remember that?
Yes.
So I was part of that deal.
Yes.
And there's probably people listening that were, but that was tough times. But we spent about $350,000. We thought that was a lot of money, and they spent $3 million trying to beat us and take us in. And you
had some good lawyers.
We ended up.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Well, you have to prove that you know your own, and you did. By the way, speaking of water, there's a wonderful program that's been running on ABC on Sunday evenings called The Americas, and it's narrated by Tom Hanks, and it's a study of wildlife, flora, and fauna.
I've heard about
it's
that.
wonderful. It took 8 years to do this photography, and then it had like extreme close-ups of a bald eagle, for instance, an extreme close-up of a wolf, all these things, and they'll follow the life of some of these animals. Like, how do you know that this polar bear belongs with that one, or this penguin belongs with that one? But the part about water, they were doing this on Sunday. It was like under Marco Island or someplace like that in Florida. Maybe it was under the swamp. Okefenokee, maybe? Well, way down is pure water.
Yes.
And caves. The city up top that would have no connection to it at all. Now, how is that possible? But it is. Unbelievable. That's what made me think about, in terms of aquifer. Is ours shallow? Is that why we don't have basements?
No, I think
it's
our soil that causes problems with basements. But
they didn't use the terminology aquifer, but Tom Hanks,
I've been
wonderful.
on the same one since I built my house in 1972. Same water.
Wow.
So I've replaced my pump one time, and it's just been an excellent investment.
And it's your own well.
It's my well, and I've had people. Early on, when my church members would literally come and bring 6 gallons of empty milk cartons and get the water for their coffee, because it's cold, it's good, and my kids enjoy it.
How deep do you have to drill here in central Mississippi to get down to a good water table?
At my house, it was about 380, 89, 90 feet, somewhere like that.
Why? What have you heard that's deeper?
It depends on where you are.
Yeah, it depends on where you are.
The Delta, you don't have to go very deep, but you need to get deeper to get through some of the stinkier water because it settles. You get the sulfurous
that's exactly
smell,
right.
Iron and things.
And like I said, what I was doing, I hadn't done it in 2 years. I do it every couple of years. I need to do it this year. I take a sample to the health department, just make sure everything looks good.
My parents, when they had moved to Niceville, Florida, you got to have, where that is, by Destin, and behind Eglin is what it is. things are nice in Niceville. And boy, are they growing anyway. So, but they like to have the lawn look nice. And they were advised, look, don't use city water. Get a well. And they got a well. And they were very happy with their well. I don't think they ever drank the water. I don't know. It wasn't for drinking anyway.
It would.
It probably would have. Yeah, absolutely.
I bet you could. Time's
a flying. We'll be back in just a minute for our final segment with Mayor Richard White of Byram.
Thank you. You were a baby.
Oh, yeah. So that's back in the 70s.
So you'd playing all this Western music because it's Texas Tuesday, right?
Well, of course. Yeah. We had Mississippi Monday.
Mississippi Monday, that's new. Texas Tuesday. West Virginia.
Just make them up, huh?
West Virginia Wednesday. So who did we decide was Thursday?
Yeah, we could go with Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, Tennessee. That would be good.
Tennessee Orange.
But there's no state that begins with a letter F.
No, Fridays. Florida Fridays.
Oh, excuse me. Of course, Florida Friday.
We dropped the ball on that one in the break.
Yeah.
South Carolina Saturday.
We weren't thinking.
And South Dakota Sunday. How about that? Okay. So that settles that. Exactly. So we got our final segment. It goes by so fast, doesn't it?
When you're having fun.
Mayor Richard White from Byram. Well, you like your city, and you have a good time with it. I mean, I'm sure there are times when you want to just scream, but
no,
really.
Well, that's. I got on my cards. I got my cell number on there, and I want people to give me a call before they get too riled up. Is what I want.
And they do.
And they do.
Yeah.
And I'm not being. Nobody worries me on my phone. That's a good point.
Are you involved at all in promoting or endorsing or supporting any of the candidates for mayor in Jackson? Since you're tied to Jackson, and I know you want to get untied, but
no
matter
don't want to get untied.
Well,
I just
want
Jackson to get straightened out, and I think there's somebody that can do that.
Who's that?
Tim Henderson.
Tim Henderson.
I think
he was on this show.
He's a good one.
And,
he's a keeper.
He's amazing.
And I just don't. People that step up to do this people don't realize it's a big challenge, especially the size of the city that's left in Jackson, Mississippi. I mean, that's where I grew up. I mean, I'm a product, and I love Jackson, Mississippi. And if we don't take care of it, it ain't gonna take care of nobody else. I mean, I'm close, but even people in Rankin, Madison are gonna feel this problem.
I was very proud of because I'm in Rankin County, and I was very proud of the Rankin Countyans last summer when Councilman Stokes was on the show, and he named Lumumba, and he named the DA, and he didn't say the third person. He said it was a member of City Council. We're going to be indicted with this thing, and of course he was so right with all that. And the comments on Nextdoor, a couple of people got the show off of our online. We're at. What are we? SuperTalk.fm/Mary is where you can find these interviews, and they redid that. And 99% of the people were in favor of Jackson. Instead of saying, "Wow, Jackson's terrible," I was very proud of them. I grew up in Jackson. I hate to see that happen, and it needs to get good. And here's somebody who can do things, and they're all very positive, and I like that.
That's what I'm saying about Tim. I think.
Well, how do you know Tim? I mean, where did you know him from?
He just came. He came. I met him last year, and we went to a few events together. He even. Was over there on McDowell Road. We went over there one Saturday morning, and he stood on the side of the road and passed out stuff and trying to get people to act right, do right, listen.
That's what he wants.
That's what he wants.
Yeah. And, he was on the show.
We've had several get-togethers, and he's right on it. He's got an idea, and I think he's going to follow through on it.
Well, I don't know if we said this on the air or this was before, but there is a forum with candidates that I don't know the names at Millsaps, I think at 6. Is it 6 o'clock tonight? 6 or 7 o'clock tonight in a building, not Gertrude Stein, but it was Gertrude, some building on the campus at Millsaps. And I think that's good that they're having a forum. There was that one a couple of weeks ago I landed in on. They had about however many, all of them, I guess.
I think there's 17.
Something like that. I thought it was closer to 20, but
now there was, but some of them didn't meet the requirements.
Yeah, one of them was a convicted felon. Well, that'll get you every time. That didn't work. She felt that she'd served her time, and it's time to get on with her life. That she felt that she'd done her she paid her debt.
Due diligence.
Yes, and then due diligence. But
yes.
And then the other one was Ali Shamsuddin, who doesn't live in that particular city. He lives someplace else.
Filed homestead, I think, in Byram.
Oh, is he? But anyway, so they're having those. But you think that he'd be good for Jackson, huh? In your opinion. Are you endorsing? How about we've had the people from Brandon on. We've had we're having Flowood, of course. Gary Rhodes isn't running.
He's probably been there. Well, I know that Miss Mary's been there probably the longest of any server.
Mary Hawkins Butler?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. She started in 1983. And she was the one that Bert always said was that little girl. Nobody wanted that job. And she said, well, I'll take it. And look what she did. She made a beautiful city.
Hey, when she made the announcement about her cancer, I texted her and told her that I wanted to be, that she was my favorite mayor, she texted me back, and it was great.
She must be doing okay with it.
Yeah,
maybe it was a lumpectomy or maybe something like that. But she's doing all right. She never, you haven't heard of any complaints or anything. But she's been at it since 1983, and I think Gary Rhodes hasn't been there that long. I don't think so, because 1983, I wasn't even, I was in Mississippi, but I don't think I knew that where Flowood was, except there were some buildings with broken glass someplace across the river, but I didn't know where it was.
They just now starting to put houses in Flowood, I know there's a lot of houses, but they got so much commercial. It's just amazing.
But there's some beautiful homes. Do you know who Mr. Hogue was? There was this man named Mr. Hogue, but it was spelled Hoggg. He was up on a hill, and if you're on Old Fannin and you look, it'd be like the southeast corner of that intersection. There's a hilly thing. It's where Oak Ridge is, I guess it is. Well, Mr. Hogue, whoever he was, owned all this land that became dogwood, and he'd sit up there and he'd conceptualize what that could look like, and so he let that land go. He's no longer with us, and we used to have a book. I don't know where it is. I've been looking around the house for it. He wrote some book about all that, what his life was like and stuff.
Yeah, I used to go out there and take a left and go to the reservoir, and there wasn't nothing out there. Wasn't even a stop sign.
I lived out there. Brattlwood is where I grew up. So yeah, you were halfway between Lakeland and Spillway, and we were it.
My brother lived in Turtle Creek. I just told him this morning, and he was a volunteer fireman out there. Can you imagine?
Chopper Bob, remember
yes.
Chopper Bob? Chopper Bob's parents built a house. I think it was Turtle Creek or the one next to it, Forest Point, one of those two. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was Forest Point. And they built a house on the channel out there. And so he would go out there, visit his parents and have a big time at the reservoir when there was not much there. That was about it.
And it just was a good deal. And by the way, they're doing the dam as far as the water pressure and all. The last few years have been excellent for us. Our city does get some backup from the river, so the people I think there's a new guy taking over. But
his name is Adam Choate.
Yes.
He's very good, and he's young, and he's techno savvy and all that. He's been the assistant director out there.
Yes, and I think he's going to do a good job too. We have not had a house flood in the last 5 or 6 years.
Good.
So that's
they've been monitoring it.
I think so.
Here's the thing. That's a tough job because damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because you got people downriver
Sound like being a mayor.
Water. Well, yes, maybe people downriver like, well, we need more water, or you got too much water. So there you are.
I just go by a big creek and take a look, and I can tell you if it's coming or going.
What do you think? Well, I guess it would affect you to an extent if Jackson ever does this one river, one lake thing.
One lake, yeah.
Love to see that. I mean,
for
the city would be great.
I like the idea of that. That's water is just always helpful.
We could have like a riverfront sort of a thing.
Ain't nothing wrong.
A river walk.
With some new leadership, we probably could do things.
Yes. And so, are you endorsing anybody else like Brandon? They got those people.
I better.
You're not going to do Brandon. You're not going to do Flowood. Flowood, without Gary Rhodes. So it's Greg Wilcox and Kathy Smith. Greg Wilcox.
I really had never had the opportunity to meet them, but if I get reelected, we'll all meet on the coast and talk about what we're going to do.
On the coast, they could just take a boat down to visit you.
MML is our municipal association. They do a great job, and so we meet down there. And
so you wish them luck, though, huh? Is that about the best of it? Well, I mean, whoever the candidates are, you got to wish them luck, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good luck with that. And for those of you who are, staying, good luck. Those of you
of course, when I was in the Senate, I was unopposed three times, but
How much are you having to spend?
I don't know yet. It ain't all come in yet.
Thousands, anyway.
Oh, yeah,
some thousands, big thousands or little thousands.
It costs money to run.
I suppose Jackson's the most expensive one in the state.
Besides
maybe some people
the governor and lieutenant governor and people like that.
Well, for mayors, unless down on the Gulf Coast, I have no idea what they're doing down there. Biloxi, Gulfport, I don't know.
You're the one who brought it up, but our governor back when one of the governors. When I was up there, we were sitting on the front row, and he said, he got reelected, and some of us weren't working for his side, and he said, I just want to tell all you out here that I can forgive and forget, but I don't have amnesia.
Oh, that's really good. That sounds like Haley Barber.
No, Haley was my bud. Yeah.
It sounds like.
He'd make it hard on you.
I was trying to think of, oh, well, no, before the first one to run for him to succeed himself was Kirk Fordyce, because Bill Elaine opted not to, and then Ray Mabus didn't make it. And Kirk Fordyce did. Oh, well, gosh, end of our time. Well, good luck with getting your money. Come back, and when you get that money in your hand, come back and tell us where you're going to. And I'm interested to know where you're going to put the wells, too. That'll be interesting.
I'll let you know that.
Yeah.
And, we just got to get a worked out deal. We'll get it. We'll get it.
You get it. You'll have it done in about how many years? 5?
2 at least.
Ooh.
Maybe a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
2.
That'd be really good. Well, good luck with that. All right, everybody. We've got Kathy Smith on the program this coming Friday. She wants to be the mayor of Flowood as well. So have a good time, and we'll see you then.